Greetings, fellow earthlings, and welcome to Tales from the Hoop, a podcast dedicated to diving into the weird, wild, and wacky world of basketball history and, at least today, its present. I am your host, Ricky Freck, and today, as always, I am joined by my brother.
Dave,
Oh, just Dave, no laser?
I'm just I'm just gonna see what works,
Okay.
Just
Well, I
keep
mean,
trying until we find the right
we
thing.
are we are literally on like episode 45.
Oh
We're
shoot,
getting
really?
into we're getting close to 2 years of this thing running. So hopefully you
I think
decide
now's the
soon.
time to start.
All right, today it is the penultimate episode of bracket season because it is March 22nd as we're recording, and there are two more Mondays left in March, so we will also release a podcast next week too, and then we'll be back to the more usual stuff. Although, yeah, I don't know. I was thinking I was going to do a April Fool's podcast, but
Okay.
I don't know how it's going to work because I'm not going to want to record another one of these after March. I'm going to want to take a break. So
Oh, yeah.
maybe we won't, but I'll still do my idea for April Fools, even though it's not April Fools. You'll understand. It'll be fine. Today, our bracket, as I said last time, was going to be the best NBA duo, but yesterday I was on a run and started thinking about a thing I think about a lot, which is probably something no one else really thinks about except for maybe this person,
Okay.
and that was how badly I want Dewan Wagner to be drafted. Or DJ
Okay.
Wagner, excuse me, DJ Wagner from Arkansas to be drafted. Now you might be wondering, why do you care about DJ Wagner, Arkansas point guard who averages like 3 points a game and is a former McDonald's All-American, right?
I am confused as to why, yes.
So DJ Wagner is a third generation McDonald's All-American because his
Okay.
dad, Dewan Wagner, played for the Memphis Tigers and then was
Uh-huh.
a top draft pick. And his granddad, Milt Wagner, was also McDonald's All-American and played for Louisville, won a championship, and then was drafted. If he gets drafted, he will become the first ever third generation NBA draft pick.
Wow, really? Okay.
So now that's sort of not true, but I get really annoyed when people say it isn't true, and I'll tell you why. Because
Okay.
you of course know Rick Barry, right? You're familiar.
Yeah.
So Rick Barry,
Golden
of
State
course,
Warriors.
yeah, Rick Barry, of course, has three sons that all played in the NBA. Brent and the others.
Okay.
I don't remember all the
Yeah.
names. And then he also has a son who plays for like it's like I think he's 3-on-3 basketball for USA or something. Anyways, so people always are like, "Oh, the Barrys are the first third generation stars or NBA players." And the reason they say that is because Rick Barry married a woman and that woman's dad played basketball.
Hmm. Okay.
Bruce
Yeah.
Hale.
Yeah.
So technically they're third generation, but I don't count it. It has to be a straight line, and it's a little curvy, so it doesn't count to me, even if it does to you. But the reason I say all that is because today we're going to do a father-son duos bracket, the best father-son NBA players of
Ooh.
all time.
Okay. Okay.
So the way I've structured this is it's a 32 team tournament, and we're going to play it like it's a two-on-two game.
Okay.
Okay, so we're saying who we think would win in a
In
game
the
of two on
specific
two.
game.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I think it makes it more fun because, like if you're just like, I mean, obviously, like LeBron James is the best player in this bracket and it's not even close, right?
Okay.
But he's playing with Bronny. So, like,
Right.
is he
If
even
the
going to win
two
a game?
guy, yeah,
Yeah.
is that much better than Bronny? Okay.
So, do you have any questions before we dive in?
I don't have any questions. I'm excited, and I do think that I don't think anyone's going to be excited by or surprised by this, but I'm about to find out that so many people are father and son. I mean, it's going to be stupid the amount of names that you say that I put together for the first time here on this podcast that they're father and son. So can't wait.
I don't know if that's true, actually. I didn't pick,
Really?
I tried to pick guys you would know, right? Like, there are a lot, right? Like
I
Gary
can
Trent Jr. is one
I
that
can
comes
just
to mind.
I didn't. Okay, so I understand that his name is Trent Jr., but I didn't know he had a dad that played in the.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Um,
I don't know that's why he had Jr. on the back of his jersey. I just, you know what I mean? Like I guess I just don't put these things together a lot.
Okay. I think some of them are pretty easy. There are
Okay.
going to be some you maybe don't know. But I think a
I
lot
can
of them.
only think of a few off the top of my head, is why I'm like,
Okay,
if
name
you
a
have
couple
30
off
of
the.
them,
Yeah.
that's crazy.
I mean, I could have made a 60 64 bracket,
Oh
but
my gosh. Okay,
there would have been a bunch
LeBron.
of players you never heard of. Yeah.
It gets tough after that.
There's one very obvious one I think that most people would know.
Because there's not like very many that played Scottie Pippen.
Yeah. That wasn't the obvious one I was referring to, but yeah, that's
There's not
true.
very many that have like played together, right? Like even on the
No one,
same,
only Bronny and LeBron have played together.
meaning at the even in the same time.
Yeah. No one else
Okay.
has played. I don't think anyone else has played at the same time.
Okay, there you go. Actually, now that I'm saying that out loud, yes, that would make sense.
Yeah. Be pretty tough.
The Boozer kid, is he drafted yet? He's
Okay, so technically
a
there's
hot
two of them.
prospect.
Technically there's two
Oh,
of them, and
so
they're
sorry.
still in college.
Okay, my bad, my bad.
They're playing right now. Well, not right now, but they're in the NCAA tournament.
Oh, okay. Um,
I will say there's two players besides LeBron. There are two players widely considered top 15 players all time who have dads that played in the NBA.
really?
Yeah,
Okay.
and
Steph
it's
Curry. Steph
yeah,
Curry. Yep.
so, yeah.
And Dell. Um, Russell Westbrook, I don't think so. I'm just kidding.
Russell Westbrook.
Shay has a cousin. That counts.
Yeah, true.
Um, okay. It's not Jordan. It's not Bird. It's not Magic. Sorry, it might be. I'm just, I don't think these players. Bill Russell, no. Wilt, no. Kareem, no. Shaq, no. Shaq has a lot of kids though, right?
Yeah, I
Okay.
will say it's Shaq. I think his son might have like made a roster, but they're not on this list.
Tim Duncan, Kobe Bryant. Did Kobe Bryant's dad play?
Yeah,
That's okay.
Joe Bryant. Yeah. All right. With now that we've have some of your guesses out of the way, let's get to the actual
Okay.
bracket. So again, there are a lot of names I did not include here. I tried to find like mostly guys you would know, and then a few that like kind of had to be included because they're very good pairs, right? Like there's some I almost included Pete Maravich because his dad played in 52
Okay.
games, but I was like 52 like who
Yeah.
I have one pair like that the son played in 7 games, but for the most part I tried to keep it like guys that actually played.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's less than Bronny.
Yeah. Okay, so we have our first matchup is going to be the Anthonys versus the Berries. So we have, and what I've written down is their height and then some of their stats if you need them. So we have Greg Anthony and Cole Anthony. Cole
Okay.
Anthony, I think he plays for the Magic
The
still.
Magic, right? Yeah.
Yeah. So Cole Anthony 6'2", averaging so far 12 points a game, 4 rebounds, 4 assists, and his dad Greg is 6 foot, 7 points, 4 assists. And then we have the Berries. Rick Barry is 6'7", which is kind of surprising that he's so tall. 12-time All-Star, 6-time All-NBA. And then we
Yeah.
have Brent Barry, 6'6", 9 points per game, 3 rebounds, 3 assists. And they're one of the few that have both won a title. They're not the first. We'll get to the
Okay.
first pair to win a title later. But what say you? I think this one's pretty clear.
Yeah, the
I
berries.
think the Berries make it through pretty easily.
Cole Anthony's really tall, right? Am I
He's
mixing up
six
my
two, so
Okay, no.
unless
Okay.
you count me as really tall, then no.
The tallest guy, no.
All right, next up we have the Dunleavys versus the Gookuses, and the Gookuses
I know
are
who I go with.
the the Gookuses are the very this is the only reason they're included, and because I probably will lose is because they are the very first father son duo to win
Oh,
titles.
okay.
So Dunleavy's senior is, and this is actually a good time to talk about this because I think like having two guys that are the same height is not great, but having like a big and a small guy is good. So Mike Dunleavy Sr. is only 6'3", 8 points a game, 4 assists, and his son is 6'9", 11 points, 4 rebounds. Whereas the senior is 6'3", 2 points a game, and the junior is 6'5", 6 points a game, three assists. So that's another
Yeah.
easy one I think the Dunleavys are going through. But I
Yeah,
do like
both
their
of
go ahead.
I was gonna say both Dunleavys are at least like memorable players. I don't know that I've ever heard the name Gukas in my life.
Wow, not a real fan.
Definitely not.
But I do think that it'll be important to consider later. And they're not they're far from the only one that's like there's a big guy and a small guy, which is going to mix well, right? Like you can
Right.
run
Yeah.
like an actual pick and roll. Although I will say there's some that are like both of these guys are huge. How are you going to score on them? There's a couple of those
Hmm.
matchups, but we'll get there when we get there. So next up, we have one you may be surprised to know, but you should know it because we have Jaren Jackson and Jaren Jackson Jr.
Oh, yeah. I didn't know that
Uh,
Jaron Jackson Sr. was a NBA player.
versus the Brunsons, Rick and Jalen.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
So here's the tale of the tape.
Interesting. Yeah.
Jaren Jackson Sr., 6'4", 5 points a game, 2 rebounds. Jaren Jackson Jr., 6'10", 19 points a game, 6 rebounds, 2 All-Stars. Then for the
Yep.
Brunsons, Rick is 6'4", 3 points, 3 assists, and Jalen is 6'2", 3 All-Stars, 2 All-NBAs, and somewhere in the 20s for his points per game. For whatever reason, I didn't write it down.
Yeah.
So I think Jalen Brunson is by far the best player in the
Yep.
matchup.
Yep.
But what is Rick Brunson doing against Jaren Jackson Jr.?
Yeah. I think what Jaron Jackson Sr. was how
He's
big?
6'4". He's as tall as Rick Brunson,
Okay. Okay.
the tall
Yeah.
who is 2 inches taller than his son. Now, I think I don't know. Can Jaren Jack like what I don't how do you match this up? Do you have like Jalen Brunson plays no defense, right? So you have to put Rick Brunson on Jaren Jackson Jr.
Probably. Yeah.
and then he has 6 inches, like
Yeah.
a lot of weight. And
I,
Jackson Jr. He could shoot threes. Triple J can shoot threes.
yeah.
And then you switch sides. I feel like Jalen Brunson can get off whatever he wants, but it's literally going to, like, he has to make every shot for them to have a shot.
Yeah.
Like,
I
Rick
think
Brunson's not doing anything.
the question is like how much can Jalen cook? Which would
A
probably be a
lot.
lot,
Yeah.
but it's just going to be so hard for either one of them to stop Junior consistently.
Yeah.
Like he could just post up every single play.
Right. Yeah.
Um, and the defense, like, yeah, like you said, Jalen Brunson is the best player by far in all of that.
Yeah.
But I think you got to give it to the height advantage.
I think I agree. I think it's like
I
relative. I
also,
think, go ahead.
I was gonna say, Jaron Jackson Jr. and maybe I don't know. I don't watch a whole lot of Grizzlies basketball
Well,
anymore.
hey, I have really good news for you. He doesn't play for them. So,
He's been on their team for 6 years.
yeah.
I did watch a ton at the beginning. I think he is a lot better than like his stats and their record have been the last couple of years.
Okay. So I don't, let me say this. I really like Jaren Jackson Jr.'s wing sauce.
Okay, yeah.
I don't like him that much as a player.
Really?
I think that if he's not playing, and this is a different, completely different matchup, right? Like this is real basketball, not 2-on-2. If he doesn't have a actual big to play with, he's not very effective. Like he's like a kind of a bad defender in terms of team defense, but is really good at like chasing blocks. He doesn't rebound at
It's like
all.
Ben Wallace.
No, what do you mean? That's
I'm just
insane.
joking. Sorry.
Like when he was with Steven Adams, he is perfect. The perfect pairing for Jaren Jackson
Yeah.
Jr. But you take Steven Adams away, and he's not very good. Like he's not as good as he should be.
I guess I read that as like the team was good, so he was trying and engaged. And now that the
Mm,
team's not good, he's just like, okay, well, we're tanking anyways. I'm
I
gonna get
just
traded to the Jazz.
I think he gets really lazy, and maybe that's what you're saying. Maybe that goes with what you're saying. But
Yeah,
I just find him like kind of not trying a lot, which is similar to Ja. Like Ja a lot of times just doesn't show up, right?
yeah.
Like when he shows up, he's incredible, but he does not.
Fun fact I learned the other day:
Uh-huh.
Ben Wallace has more career blocks than he does fouls.
That's wow. That's impressive, right? That seems really
Yes,
impressive.
very much so.
There was something I can't remember who it was. It was a guy I just posted a video today, ranking every fifth pick in NBA history. There was a guy on there that was like a guy you've never heard of. No one, like most people have never heard of. Like I think it's Sam Lacey, and it was like only six guys in the or five guys in the history of the NBA have had 100 blocks and 100 steals in six consecutive seasons, and it was
Mm,
like this guy, Ben Wallace, like all the like Hakeem Olajuwon, like all time greats, and then this guy no one's ever heard of.
that's hilarious.
But then he just like fell off after his first 6 years, like was terrible.
That's all he could do.
Yeah, just ran out of steam. Okay,
Um, yeah, I think this is kind of like when you do like a boxing, like Floyd Mayweather, quote unquote, undefeated, one of the best technical
mm,
fighters. But if you put him with any heavyweight, it's over. Like he just will. Like I do, I think that Jalen has the possibility of getting hot and like just scoring threes more than the. But I think with Jaren guarding him, and then the other way around, like Jaren trying to score on him, I just don't.
yeah,
And then I'm a, I think uh, Triple J is underappreciated, but
yeah. I think I agree that the Jacksons should move forward. If nothing else, then I think it'll make. I think the next round's going to have an more interesting
okay,
matchup with them going through. Okay, so next up we have the Paytons versus the Thompsons.
okay.
So we have Gary Payton, six
Oh
foot
yeah,
four,
yeah,
nine-time
yeah,
All Star, nine-time All NBA player, and then his son, who is 6'2", 6 points per game, 3 rebounds per game, and also like can jump out of the gym. Really,
yeah, and a very good defender.
yeah. And then we have Michael Thompson, 6'10", 14 points a game, 7 rebounds, 2 assists, and Klay Thompson, 6'5", 5 All Stars, 2 All NBA, one of the best 3-point shooters of all time, yeah, of all
Yeah,
time.
yes. Um, I love the Paytons, but I don't think that's close.
Yeah, I mean, like even if Gary Payton locks up Clay, which is a very likely thing to happen,
Yeah,
what is Gary Payton Jr. doing against 6'10" Michael Thompson?
yeah, it's gonna be rough.
So I think this one is a pretty easy matchup, which is crazy because Gary Payton is one of my all-time favorite players. So
Right, but when you
he's
design a two-man game,
yeah,
this is
you
what you on paper. This is what you want before
yeah.
you even get to like stats or how good they are.
Okay, now we have a very, very intriguing matchup
Okay.
because we have the Bryants versus the Bulls.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
So we have Joe Jellybean Bryant, 6'10", 9 points a game, 4 rebounds, and his son Kobe,
Yeah.
6'6", 18-time All-Star, 15-time All-NBA, one-time MVP, versus Manute Bol, who is 7'7",
Yeah.
3 points a game, two-time blocks champ, and his son Bol, who is 7'3", 6 points a game.
Yeah.
So is it quality or is it size?
I was gonna say, so there is a size argument. Like the boxing analogy, I think is apt in some situations. However, the Bulls are kind of like uh the exception to the rule there
Okay.
because I mean they would be on skates the entire time. Like
Yeah.
there's no way that they would be able to defend Kobe Bryant.
Are you sure?
I don't know. Maybe I'm not giving them enough credit, but like we've seen both of them not have impactful long-term NBA careers because
I,
like Kobe is so much faster, and I don't even know
yeah.
anything about Joe Bryant, honestly, but
Okay, so I don't know a lot, but okay, I think I agree with you that the Bryants should move on, but I guess my argument, maybe not even argument, but my devil's advocate is you put Bol on Kobe, right? And of course, Kobe can blow by him whenever he wants. But I don't think Joe Bryant is like that much of an outside shooter. So Manute can just stand in the lane. And then you have two guys that, I mean, their wingspan is easily like nearly 10 foot apiece, right?
yeah,
So I it I think it's like closer than you think, but
that might be true.
I do think the Bryants would probably move on, which is
I
sad.
just
Six.
think your strategy is probably one in the lane and one ISOing Kobe.
Yeah.
Kobe takes it to the arc and then crosses over, I don't know, twice and
Yeah.
gets open. And like he's just going to be able to get to his shot wherever he wants. Now, defense will be tough
Well, see,
for
I
sure.
actually think the opposite. I think they have a better chance of stopping the Bryants than they do scoring on the Bryants.
Oh, really?
Because like
How would
they
they
keep
score on them? Or, I mean,
neither,
like the scoring would just be like walk over and,
but they're so small.
yeah,
Like Kobe probably weighs the same as Manute Bol. If you look it up,
that
like
is
they
crazy.
probably weigh the
Yeah,
same.
that's fair.
And like if they try to like they can't dribble. Neither. I mean, okay, look, we've all seen the Bol helicopter spin. Of course, that happened once, but like neither of them have a handle.
Yeah,
I think they have a better chance to like slow the Bryants down, which is a wild thing to say, than they do to score on them, despite having such a huge advantage.
yeah,
But yeah, this was the meme matchup. Definitely
I
going to
love
put the
it.
Bryants through. Now we have you might not know these guys, but the Fairies versus the Harpers. You're going to know the Harpers, of course. But so we
Okay.
have Bob Ferry, 6'8", 9 points per game, 5 rebounds per game, and his son, one of the biggest busts given his drafting position. He's not actually that bad of a player, but 6'10", 7 points a game, 3 rebounds per game, and allegedly a big time racist versus Ron Harper, who's 6'6", 14 points a game, 4 rebounds, 4 assists, and his son Dylan, who is currently playing for the Spurs, 6'5", 11 points per game, 3 rebounds, 4 assists, and apologies to Ron Harper Jr. And, there's several, also like apologies to Seth Curry, you're not here. Apologies to Mikhail Thompson, you're not here. There's several like other brothers that didn't make the
Yeah.
cut.
Yeah, I think I would go Harper's. They're
I,
not neither one of them's huge, but I feel
yeah.
like they fit together very well as players.
I also think, I mean, yeah, that I think the Fairies have a height advantage, but it's not so huge that I think it's going to be like a huge problem.
Yeah.
Right? And like neither I don't know a ton about Bob Ferry. He played pretty early because Danny Ferry was drafted in the 80s. So it's not like some of these other
Danny
guys who
Ferry.
were
It sounds familiar, but
or no, maybe he was on a McDonald's team in the 80s and drafted in the 90s. He's like 90s Cleveland Cavs, like bad Cavs.
okay.
Um but so I don't know a ton about Bob Ferry, but I can't imagine, I mean, neither of these guys are like fast or athletic. They're just like kind of big.
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll go with the Harpers there. Move the Harpers forward into a tough matchup versus the Bryants later.
Ooh.
Next, we have the Martins versus the Mannings. So Kenyon Martin is 6'9", one-time All-Star, 12 points a game, 7 rebounds. And his son KJ is 6'6", 9 points a game, 4 rebounds. And then Ed Manning is 6'7", 6 points a game, 4.5 rebounds. And his son Danny Manning, who could have been, who like probably should have been like a real star, but injuries kind of hurt his career, if I'm
Mm.
remembering correctly. 6'10", two-time All-Star, 14 points a game, 5 rebounds. So a very good matchup, right, between Danny and
Yeah.
Kenyon Martin. And then it's who do you trust more between their kids? And I think Ed Manning had a longer career than KJ. I think if we're assuming these guys are at full strength, Danny Manning is the much better player, but
Yeah.
um, I don't
I'm
know.
surprised Kenyon Martin's only a one-time All-Star.
I mean,
Doesn't feel like my childhood, but
he feels like the kind of guy who got a little overrated because they played in the finals a couple times, right?
yeah. But why
But
overrated? He was like,
I just think he was not that good. I don't
oh.
know. Maybe I'm wrong.
It does feel like there was in the especially the early 2000s, there was like a second big man
A
that
second big man.
like it was never the center, but it was like the four, and a lot of teams would just have like a worse, less tall version of their five.
Yeah.
And he just became mean. Like it was never about being good at basketball. It was just like he's their
Yes.
enforcer.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, he's just like really athletic. Like, I mean, that's not nothing, but
Yeah. I think because I didn't know that he had a son that played in the league, I'm gonna go with the Mannings.
yeah, I think, and like, I'm just looking right now because I want to back up the thing I said that he's much better. Danny Manning has multiple like 20 points a game seasons.
Okay.
And like Kmart might be a better defender, honestly, looking at it. Just very quickly. But yeah, I think I agree the Manning should go forward. I feel like Danny Manning is one of those guys that like should have been much more than he was, but unfortunately didn't work out.
Yeah, due to injury.
And maybe not even injury, like Derek Coleman, I feel like from that era is another guy. It's like this guy should have been one of the greats and didn't, whether it's injuries or just like didn't have the drive.
Yeah.
But I do hate Danny Manning because he played for the Kansas Jayhawks. But okay, moving on. We have the Rivers versus the Walker Roses. So Doc Rivers, 6'4", one-time All-Star, 11 points per game, 6 assists per game, and his son Austin, also 6'4", 8.5 points, 2 rebounds, 2 assists, and it's just, like the Rivers family has so many people. Like the family tree is huge.
Oh, really?
They,
I don't know
they
about
I
this.
think like their uncle played. I think like there's another Rivers son that played for like a hot
Hmm.
second in the NBA.
This
Like
is a
a
sister, right?
I think their sister's like married to Seth Curry, so Seth Curry is
Oh, okay.
involved in on their basketball reference page. It
Hmm.
is. I was like, there's a lot of you could pick a lot of people here. And then we have Jimmy Walker, 6'3", 17 points a game, 3 assists, 3 rebounds, two-time All-Star, former number one pick, and his son. That this one I would be surprised if you knew. Jalen Rose, 6'8", 14 points a game, 3.5 rebounds, 4 assists. Now, I will say, just for clarity, I don't think Jimmy Walker was involved in Jalen Rose's life at all,
Oh, okay.
but
But
he does
they
have his genes.
technically, okay. Well, Jalen Rose is like four times the player that Austin Rivers is,
Yeah.
and 15 times the sports personality.
Yes. Yes.
Even more than, sorry, I don't even know an infinitesimal amounts better. Um,
Uh-huh.
so that leaves Doc and Jimmy, and I'm gonna go with Jimmy on that one.
Yeah, but have you considered that Austin Rivers has the better nickname?
No.
Maybe a potential miss by us in the nickname bracket
What
by
is his
not
nickname?
including Macaroni Tony.
No, that's okay. I actually weirdly think Doc Rivers should stop coaching so that he could be a media personality. I think he's good at it.
I don't think that's weird. I think Doc Rivers is not a good coach.
But well, but he's like one of
No, 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 no.
those
He's not a good coach.
people love him though.
People love him, but his
Um,
teams suck.
but Austin, I don't have anything against the guy personally. I don't know anything about his life, but when he was on, like when he does the sideline reporting thing,
Hmm.
I don't know if there's anybody worse. It's
No, there
crazy.
there is someone worse
Oh,
because the
sorry.
guy currently doing it for CBS, every single at the half, they cut to him. He's going to ask two questions to a player that's going to the locker room. His first question every single game is, "How are you winning?"
Okay.
What kind of question is that?
Even if
How
they're
are you?
losing?
How? No, no, no. He always asks the winning team, and then they
Oh,
come
okay.
back. They come back after the break, and then he talks to the losing team, or
Okay.
after the halftime break, and talks to the losing team before they start the second half. Every
How
time.
are you losing?
How are you winning? Every time he asks that, and I just want someone to be like, "Well, you see this orange ball? We put it in the hoop more than them," and then walk away.
Yeah.
But of course, they like try to give real. It's so annoying. I hate it so much. Oh man, sorry.
Okay.
It's really grinding my gears today. Okay, do you want
Either
to do the
way,
other?
let's go
Oh,
with Jalen.
yeah, I agree. Do you want to do the other half of the bracket or cut this one down to like the final four?
Um, let's cut it down.
Okay. So we have the Berries, Rick and Brent versus
Okay.
the Dunleavys, Mike and Mike.
Berries.
I agree. Very, very easily. I think the Berries are a little bit of a not a dark horse, but have a good chance.
I
Okay.
don't. Yeah, I don't think you'd say when you start this. I don't think a lot of people would go. The berries are gonna go far, but then when you really think about it, you're like, okay, pretty.
I mean, yeah, and like Rick is one of the best players in this bracket, and then his son is like a 6'6" forward that can shoot, right?
A do it all 3-and-D guy. Yeah,
Yeah, for sure. I mean, he was a champion with the Spurs because he could shoot.
pretty instrumental, right? Also,
Yeah. Okay, so then we have the Jacksons versus the Thompsons. Ooh, this is a good matchup
hmm.
because Triple J can definitely guard Michael Thompson, right? They're comparable, and then I think Clay is obviously the much better player than Jackson Sr.,
Yeah.
but mm,
Nah, I don't think so. I think the Thompsons are cooking.
all right, Thompsons make it through. And then we have the Bryants versus the Harpers? Question mark.
Okay.
I think give this like 5 more years and it might change, but I just feel like we don't know enough about Dylan Harper yet,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And
Also, could you imagine Kobe, someone telling Kobe that we think that Ron Harper would beat you at a 2-on-2.
now I don't think Ron Harper would. I think it comes down to Dylan, right? Because I think it's Ron Harper. Ron Harper's taller, so he'd have to guard Joe.
Hmm.
And Joe is 6'10". Don't forget about that. That's a little bit of a wrinkle in the Bryants that I forget about because you would never think Kobe Bryant's dad is 4 inches taller than him, but he is. All right, so the
Yeah.
Bryants are moving
Yeah.
on. And then our final second round matchup is the Mannings versus the Walker Roses. Now, the Mannings have a big height advantage here, but I don't know.
A big height advantage?
I mean, Danny Manning is 2 inches taller than Jalen Rose, and Jalen Rose is not a post player, right? Like he's not, he was a point guard. He was a 6'8" point guard.
Yeah.
So, and then Ed Manning is 4 inches taller than Jimmy Walker.
Okay.
And I'm going to assume Jimmy Walker is not a post player at 6'3".
I've just never thought as Jalen Rose is like a short guy, but I get what you're saying.
He's not short. He's very tall. He's like a Magic Johnson style point guard.
Yeah.
Obviously, nowhere close to as good, but like I think I do think Jimmy Walker. If I'm drafting these players, right, I'm drafting like Danny Manning, then Jimmy Walker, then Jalen Rose, then very very far below them is Ed Manning. But I don't know. It's tough
Yeah.
because
It
like
is tough.
Danny Manning's going to do whatever he wants on offense, right?
Yeah.
They're not going to be able to go inside. I don't think of Jimmy or of Jalen Rose as a 3 point shooter at all. He's more of a creator than
I
anything,
actually do
really.
think Jalen's game would be like a lot different today. I think he would have been a.
Yeah, that's true.
I
Yeah.
feel like he could shoot, but that wasn't the how they were playing. Yeah, I think you're right about the Mannings.
So we're going to send the Mannings through.
Yep.
A bit of an
Much as
upset
much
there,
as it
but
pains me.
because I think like if you're just saying who do I want on my team, the Walker Roses are like way more attractive package. But I just think Danny Manning is so good. All right, you
Yeah.
want to break this down to the final four? Is that what we're doing?
However you want.
Okay, so we have Rick Barry. Sorry, we have the Berries versus the Thompsons. A good matchup here. You put Rick, I think you probably do Rick on Clay,
Yep.
and then you have Brent on Michael. So Michael's going to have kind of have his way with him, but not too, like, it's not going to be so one sided.
Yeah, I like the Thompsons still.
Sell me.
I think that the they just have like the setup of the game. I really don't know. Like I know that we're gonna get to other people, but I just feel like they're the winners. Like I also think Clay has been severely like I feel like we forget that he dribbled 11 times and scored 60 points. And the only reason he wasn't like a 30-point game per game scorer is because he played with Steph Curry. Like,
Or is the only reason he was a so many points a game scorer he was is because he played with Steph Curry?
oh no, I don't
He's
think
not
so.
been, I mean, I know he's older, so of course, I'm not saying like, oh, he never would have been as good as he was, but he's not been nearly as impressive with Dallas
He's
once
been
he's us.
hurt.
Yeah, but even when he's not hurt, I don't think he's been that great. I mean, I don't know. It's not like a Draymond thing where like Draymond on any other team would have played 3 years in the NBA and we're forgotten about him. Never would have heard of him again. It would have been what a great timeline to live in. But I do think Clay benefits a lot from being in Steph Curry's orbit and getting to be like that second best player with one of the top
Yeah.
10 players of all time.
I do think he would have been a lot like if he was the number one guy on a team. I think he would not be winning like they wouldn't be deep in the playoffs, but I do think that he'd be
And I
a
I
top
think
10 scorer.
I mean, but and Rick Barry was leading his teams into the playoffs, was the dominant guy. I mean,
Yeah.
look at the just look. I mean, I don't think All Stars like an All NBA is the best way to look at a career, but like 12 All Stars to five, six All NBAs to two. Like Rick Barry
Yeah.
is by far, not even close, the best player in this matchup.
But then how's Brett Barry going to guard Michael?
I mean, well, you know,
And also Clay,
that's the other
super
thing.
underrated defender.
I think Clay is honestly like one of the top perimeter defenders of the last of his, I don't know, like of the 2010s, I guess is what I'd say.
Yeah, I mean, is there a better 3 and D player ever?
Uh, hmm, not that I can think of off the top of my head.
And then you put that with a
Can
guy
he
who's got
create
a,
though? That's the other thing is can he create? How good is he as a creator?
you're right, he did only like I said he was scored 60 off 11 dribbles, but like you could make the argument that what if he would have had to dribble a lot more?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I feel like Rick Barry can do everything and Clay Thompson can do a lot of things really well.
Okay.
And maybe I'm underrating Michael Thompson. I think I'm run. This is a tough one. This should be the
Wasn't he pretty
championship.
solid?
Yeah, Michael Thompson is very good.
Like really good.
14 and 7. Yeah.
I knew who he was even.
That's surprising. Do you know where he's from?
Like like team that he played for or like
No, country of
no.
origin. No, he's from the Bahamas. All right, let's do the Thompsons.
Yeah, I
I think
think
Rick
so.
Barry is like so good that he should make it farther, but
Do you know Michael Thompson had an MVP vote once?
well, Rick Barry I think won an MVP, but in no, he didn't. He didn't win an because he like he I think he finished second in MVP voting in the ABA when he played 35 games. That's how good Rick Barry was in the ABA.
Also,
Isn't that
Michael
That's
had like
crazy.
Michael had some like I don't feel like his averages tell the whole story because he played so many
No,
seasons
no one's ever. Yeah, that's
when he was
I
older,
agree. I
but
agree. But I only have so much room on the sheet.
that's fair. I was just gonna see quickly. Brent Barry never averaged more than 10 points a game.
Oh,
Michael did 21.
yeah. Well, look at how many points did Rick Barry average because it's like well into the 30s.
I know. But I think that again, I think Clay could have.
I don't think so.
That's not a good
I don't
argument.
think that's true. I don't think that's true in the slightest because I
Dang,
don't think
dude.
what
Rick Barry numbers are crazy. Now, okay, this is kind of like convincing me.
I'm saying this should be the championship. This
Yeah,
is the best
this
matchup
is good.
of this round. Okay, next we have the Bryants versus the Mannings. So Joe and Kobe versus Ed and Danny. Honestly, I think the Mannings have to run out here. As much as
I
I'm like a Kobe hater to some degree,
yeah.
I'm not even really a hater, just like a not appreciator.
Yeah, you have him top 20, not top 10.
Yeah.
Which if a lot of Kobe people would be like, that's the worst basketball sin you could make. So,
Yeah, one of our mutual friends who was on a trip with me to Epic Universe and Universal got very angry at me when I was talking about how Kobe Bryant's not a top 15 player 2 weeks ago.
I would have loved to be there.
Okay, I think the Bryants have to go through,
Yeah.
and then
I also just keep coming back to like just imagine being like, "Hey Kobe, you have to play 2-on-2 against these people." And he'd be like, "Great. This is the easiest thing that's ever happened. I can't wait." You actually think that this is an argument?
yeah, yeah, it's true. I mean, yeah, that's I do think like, and this is not a thought that's going to surprise or be earth shattering or too wild or anything, but I think maybe KD. I think I take Kobe in a one-on-one game over anybody but Kevin Durant.
Yeah. The exact thing I was going to say is I think there are better players than Kobe historically,
Yes.
but don't get too excited there. But if you're talking about one-on-one players, which we're
Yeah.
talking about two-on-two, so I
Yeah.
guess he has to have a teammate to pass to or
Yeah.
get the ball from. But like it's a very short list
Yeah.
of people with Kobe at the top.
Yeah.
And so the bracket structure is really helping him, I think.
For sure. Okay, we're gonna do the other side of the bracket. Save
Okay.
the final four for later. So here we go. We have the Bibbies versus the Horfords.
Oh, yeah. Okay. I
So
know these
Henry
people.
Henry Bibby, 6'1", 9 points, 3 assists, and
Don't know him.
his son Mike,
Yep.
6'1", 15 points a game, 3 assists, 5.5, or 3 rebounds, 5.5 assists. And then we have Tito Horford,
Hmm. Okay.
7'1",
Yep.
McDonald's All-American, 1.5 points per game, 1.3 rebounds per game.
Okay.
And his son Al Horford, 6'8", not a McDonald's All-American,
Hmm.
but 5-time All-Star, 13 points per game, 8 assists, 8 rebounds per game.
Yeah. I think it's Horford's pretty easily.
I always thought it was funny that Tito Horford is a McDonald's All-American and his son was not, but his son is so much better than him in the
Yeah,
NBA.
I do like Mike Bibby.
Oh, I love Mike
But
Bibby. Now,
that
this is unfortunately playing Mike Bibby, not now when he's a bodybuilder and probably could snap Al Horford in half.
oh
But
really?
have you not seen him lately?
I
Oh,
don't know
please
anything
look
about
it
him.
up after the show because
Okay.
Mike Bibby, you will not recognize. He looks like he belongs on the Jersey Shore, is all I'll say.
All right. Okay. Yeah, I think the
Okay.
Horfords would snap him.
Yeah, for sure. We have the Garlands versus the Hardaways.
Okay. Yep.
So Winston Garland is 6'2". He averaged 9 points a game, 3 rebounds, 5 assists. And his son Darius is 6'1", two-time All-Star, 19 points a game and 7 assists per game. But they are going up against Tim Hardaway, who's 6 foot, five-time All-Star, five-time All-NBA, 18 points a game across his long career, and his son Tim Hardaway Jr., who is 6'5", and I was kind of surprised by. I knew Tim Hardaway Jr. was a solid player, but he is averaging 14 points and 3 rebounds a night across his career. That was a little surprising that it was that high
Yeah.
on the points per game. And until I saw that, I was like, "Oh, this is going to be like a match. Who can score more, Darius Garland or Tim Hardaway?" But I do think that Tim Hardaway Jr. wins this matchup for the Hardaways.
I know I've seen a lot of Tim Hardaway over the years because he's on the Mavericks.
Yeah.
And I've always thought he's like it's such a weird position to be in. Like he is like the absolute perfect like six man of the year
Mm,
candidate or
yeah.
whatever. Where it's like, but he's just never his name is never out there. Like
Yeah.
but he's just the most like consistently consistent 3 and D person. He does he'd fit on any team in the league.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Anybody
Definitely
would
for
be
sure.
happy to have him, and he'd make them better.
Yeah.
But he just like gets no recognition, and like no one ever talks about him. I don't know if his personality is just like subdued, and I don't feel like I've ever heard him talk before.
Yeah. That's definitely true.
But
Yeah.
he's like his stats are great.
I know Tim Hardaway Jr. and I knew he was good. I just didn't know he was 14 points a night good. I know like obviously point totals have gotten inflated in the modern NBA,
Yeah,
so that's part of it, but I mean his dad is like an all-timer and he's only
right.
4 points lower. That's crazy.
Yeah,
All right, so the Hardaways advance here, right?
yes,
Okay.
easily.
Next up we have a fun matchup against three former teammates, sort of,
Okay.
if you think about it. The Jameses versus the Loves.
Oh, okay.
So LeBron, 6'9", second greatest player to ever live, and his son Bronny, 6'2", 2 points a game, 1 assist per game. And they are going up against Stan Love, who's 6'9", 7 points a game, 4 rebounds a game, and in his later career became a caretaker for one of the Beach Boys. And his son, Kevin Love, 6'10", five-time All-Star, 16 points, 10 rebounds a game over his career.
Yeah, we're talking about like this is we get everybody at their best.
Yeah, at their absolute peak.
It's no question LeBron James.
Really?
Yeah, it's stupid. Don't I mean Kevin Love is great,
Yeah.
but he cannot stop Heatles LeBron. And
You think
He
Heedles
doesn't
is the best version of LeBron?
honestly. I mean, sorry that that second championship when he
Yeah.
like it was just like give me the ball every single play. I mean, I don't know. Yeah, maybe.
You think that's better than '08 Eastern Conference Finals versus the Pistons, where he scored like 29 straight points to end the game? And
I mean, that was heroic, but they didn't win.
they did win that. Yeah, they won that game and that
Sorry, they didn't
series.
win the championship.
Oh, yeah, but
I'm
I
talking
don't
about
know.
that Miami year where they were repeating. They
Yeah.
had the 27 game win streak. He was just unbeatable at all times. And
Mm,
I would go so far as to say, get Bronny out of there. I'll do it by myself.
okay, that's fair. I'll let it
Well, also,
happen.
would Kevin Love disagree? Like,
Probably not.
yeah, Kevin Love is amazing. And I think like it's people forget there was always this like, well, they can't get anywhere with Kevin Love like that Timberwolves team.
Mm,
They were
yeah.
so good with him
Eh,
and
they were
Rubio and
yeah.
Pekovic. Like
I think they were fine. I just think like I think Kevin Love has to be your second or third best player.
to win a title, yes, but
Yeah.
like they were damn good before then. I just don't think that there was no game plan for how to stop LeBron James.
Yeah, that's
And
true. That's fair.
that's if you're a good defender. And
Kevin
I
Love
don't
is
know
not.
anything about Kevin Love's dad, but if
Well, I
there's
just
anything on
told
Kevin
you.
Love,
I just told you. Stan
you
Love, he took care of the Beach Boys.
did you say he's a solid defender?
No, I said he took care of someone. I
Yeah.
just love that story that after he retired, he just was like his I think it's his brother
Mm,
was in the Beach Boys, and so then he started like taking care of their lead singer when he started to go have dementia or something.
interesting. That's very
It's
sweet.
a weird story. Okay, so now we have a very, very interesting team versus a team that's probably going to get dog walked.
Okay.
Uh, we have the Sabonuses versus the
Mm.
Caldwell Bagleys.
The bonuses are very interesting. Uh, that's already the answer, but go ahead, I guess.
So Arvidas is 7'3", and in the NBA, averaged 12 and 7. But of course, he didn't come over till he was like in
40.
his 30s, I think. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then his son DeMontis, 6'10", averaging 16 points, 11 rebounds, and 5 assists. So just these guys can do anything, and they're also both huge. And then we have Joe Caldwell, 6'5", four-time All-Star, 16 points, 5 rebounds, and his grandson, Marvin Bagley III, 6'10",
Mm,
12
okay.
points a game, 6.5 rebounds.
Yeah.
So
I
the
think it's
Sabonuses
this.
are obviously making it, but I had to include the Caldwell Bagleys as the
Yeah.
only, not they're not the only father-grandson duo, but they're the only father-grandson duo that most people have heard of.
Right. Okay.
At least one of the guys.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
All right, so
R.I.P.
the bonuses move on, and LeBron is going to have a tough next round matchup.
Yeah,
Okay,
that's interesting. I don't like that actually.
now we get to a fun matchup, but also I think this one's pretty easy. We have the Bookers versus the Currys. So Melvin Booker, six foot
Hmm.
two, 5 points, 2 assists, and his son Devin is 6'5", averaging 25 points a game, 4 rebounds, 5 assists so far in his career, versus Wardell Curry, 6'4", 12 points per game, 2 rebounds, 2 assists, and his son Wardell Curry Jr., aka Steph, 6'2", 12-time All-Star, two-time MVP, 25 points per game for his career. I don't think the Bookers have much of a chance in this matchup,
Yeah. One
but
thing that's interesting about some of these is like they played together or at the same time. Like
oh,
sorry,
you,
the some of the players
yeah, yes, yeah,
like Ron Harper and Kobe.
yeah,
We already know what this looks like. You got the best player on of both teams, and one of
yeah,
them dramatically stomps the other one
yeah,
almost every time they play. So
yeah. And I
it,
think the good thing about Steph is he does not have the problem Clay has. Now, this team will run into a size problem at some point, but like Steph can create. I'm not saying Clay can't create. I'm saying he's not as good of a creator as
yeah,
some of the other guys in this
yeah.
bracket, right?
Steph is an all-time creator.
Yeah. Okay, so the Currys are over the Bookers pretty easily. Now, here's the matchup. I don't remember if I said this on or off pod, but I did say that I included a guy who only played in 7 games. And that's going to be in this matchup because we have the Ewings versus the Robinsons.
Okay.
So Patrick Ewing, 7 foot tall, 11-time All-Star, 7-time All-NBA player, and his son Patrick Ewing Jr., who's 6 foot 8 and played in 7 career NBA games,
Okay.
versus Glenn Big Dog Robinson, 6'7", 2 All-Stars, 21 points a game, 6 rebounds, and his son Glenn Robinson III, 6'6", 6 points, 3 rebounds. I don't know about this is a good one. I think this is a good matchup.
21 points a game,
Yeah,
and he only
there
had
was.
two All-Stars?
I mean, he was playing. It's in the 90s, right? And he plays power forward, and he's a small power forward. So like he has to beat out like Karl Malone. There's,
Okay.
there's like a lot of bigs you would have to beat out, right? So it's going to be tough. I mean, he has
That's
that
great. He's
one.
so consistent. Wow.
He has that one season with Ray Allen for the Bucks where they make like a deep playoff run, but then just I think he's like almost never in the playoffs, if I remember correctly.
Hmm.
Um,
Yeah, who thinks of the 90s Milwaukee Bucks,
it, you're right, but it is like I think the Bucks are like one of the more underrated franchises. Now the 90s not the best time, but like if you look at it in the 80s, right? No one talks about the Bucks in the 80s, right? Nobody. Nobody
Right.
in their because it's all Lakers Celtics that win titles. I think the Bucks have if not the third then the fourth highest winning percentage of the decade
Really?
and have in my opinion like a guy who is like one of the most underrated players of all time, Sidney Moncrief.
Hmm.
Uh, and nobody talks about those teams.
Right.
They're very good. Now, of course, this
Hmm.
is not, we're not talking about that team right now. I'm just saying, like, I think the Bucks are like criminally underrated as a overall franchise.
Hmm. Yeah.
But yeah, I don't. I mean, obviously, like Patrick Ewing is the best player in this matchup, but is he so good that he's going to overcome his son being the worst player in this entire bracket?
I think so, yes.
You think so?
I don't know. Fun fact, Glenn Robinson was voted for MVP
Uh huh.
one year. Like people voted for him when he
Yeah.
did not get any All-Star nods.
That's not now. That is a fun fact. That's not as rare as you think, though.
Really?
Yeah, that happens like not it's not too like there's a lot of times where people will make all NBA teams and not make all star teams. And like all NBA is harder to make than all star in
Right.
theory. But yeah, that definitely happens
I don't know
because
how that's
fans are
possible.
stupid. Fans are dumb.
But the coach, they picked the reserves.
No, I don't think always.
You
I
like
think
the
that
fans
the
used
I
to
think the
pick all
rules
of
have
them?
changed. I don't know for sure, but I
Okay.
think the rules have changed. And I mean, I don't know. I'm just saying that's not I've seen that like more than I would expect to have seen it. Is what I'm saying, I
Yeah.
guess. Because as someone who like looks at basketball reference like multiple times a day, I've seen it a
Yeah.
lot. Um,
You might see it this year with Cunningham.
what do you mean?
He's gonna miss his threshold.
But he made the All Star team.
Oh yeah, that's true. I was just making it. It was a bad joke, anyways.
Okay. So you say Ewings. I think I agree. I don't think the Ewings are making it very
It's
far.
not. Yeah, this. I mean, I don't feel great about either one because it's just such
Yeah.
a liability. But
Well, I just feel like Patrick Ewing Jr. is taller than both guys, right? So you're putting him on the third, Glenn Robinson the third. And then I feel like Patrick Ewing and Glenn Robinson are going to have like a solid matchup, but like also Patrick Ewing's going to kind of eat him alive.
yeah, they played at the exact same time, and you like, there's a reason Glenn Robinson didn't get any nods.
Yeah.
It's because Patrick Ewing was getting them all.
Okay. So now we have a matchup between I don't know if you know any of these players, to be perfectly
Okay,
honest with you.
great,
Maybe you do.
exciting.
So we have the Shays
Gilgeous
versus
Alexander.
no, spelled differently,
Okay.
versus the Wilkinses.
Okay, there's
Wilkins.
a Dolph Shays,
Oh, look at you. Wow.
and then what's the other one? Wilkins?
Yeah.
Michael.
This is very interesting. No, wrong. Okay, so
John.
no. You're not even saying the most famous Wilkins, which is
Oh
wild.
yeah, Dominique, sorry.
Yeah, he's not included, but he's
Okay.
involved in somehow, some
Yeah.
way. I'll tell you. So Dolph, of course, you're correct. Dolph Shays, 6'8", a 12-time All-Star and 12-time All-NBA player. Granted, it's a long time ago. Still, his son Danny, 6'11", 8 points per game, 5 rebounds per game over his career. And then we have Gerald Wilkins, who is Dominique Wilkins' brother,
Oh,
a
okay.
6'6" guy, 13
Fun.
points, 3 rebounds, 3 assists, and his son Damien, who is also 6'6", 6 points, 2 rebounds. Did you know Dominique Wilkins' son is currently playing for the Georgia Bulldogs?
No.
Isn't that mind blowing? Because that means Dominique had to have his kid when he was like well into his 40s.
Oh, dang. Yeah. That is pretty up there.
All right, so I think we have to go with the Shays, but you could convince me because, again, they both played a long time ago.
Yeah.
Like, I think both of their pictures on Basketball Reference are in black and white. So,
I'm definitely not going to argue because Dolph Shays was like, I mean, you said 12-time All-Star. I know that name is
yeah,
like, he's like on the 75 team, right?
I would say, yeah, I think Dolph Shays is maybe, I don't know, hopefully this isn't controversial, best Jewish player of all time.
Hmm.
I can't
Interesting.
think of another guy who's better, but
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know like who he played for, but I know that he gets talked about all the time. There's
Dolph
like a
Shays, was he? He might have been the Knicks. I could be wrong. Let's look it up real quick so we're not dumb, but I think it was the Knicks. I'll probably look like an idiot here soon. Let's see. He played for three different teams. Oh no. Oh God, actually.
uh-oh.
Oh, okay. He did not play for three different teams. He had three different jersey numbers. He played for the Syracuse
Oh,
Nationals, so I was close. It was a New York team, but not the
the
Knicks.
Syracuse Nationals.
Yeah.
It almost makes me want to choose the other side because I'm like, that doesn't exist. That is a made up thing.
Technically, no. The Syracuse Nationals do still exist in the form of the Philadelphia 76ers.
Okay, well in that case, we'll give it to Dolph Shays.
Okay, Dolph Shays is moving on. Sorry to Dominique's brother. Okay, and our final matchup of this side of the bracket for round one is the Pippins versus the Waltons.
Hmm.
So
Intriguing.
we have the Scotty with the IE, 6'8",
Mm-hmm.
seven-time All-Star, seven-time All-NBA player, six-time champion, and the Scotty with the Y, 6'2", 10 points, 3 rebounds, 4 assists,
Yep.
versus Bill, 6'11", two-time All-Star, one-time MVP, 13 points a game, and his son Luke, 6'8", 5 points, 3 rebounds, 2 assists, and a two-time champion.
Yeah, I think if you let Bill's career play out without debilitating injuries,
Yeah.
this is maybe a different conversation.
Okay. So
But
we're
I'm
we're
pretty.
so we're not
Sorry.
saying peak of their powers because earlier you said peak of their powers.
Sorry, I agree. You're right that like the peak of their powers should mean that, but it's just hard to not put all of Walton's stuff into context.
Mm.
Like I don't think his career got to nearly the heights that it could or should have, and so it's hard to be like I'm not
Okay, I see
picking
what you're
the
saying.
six-time NBA champion who was the second most important player of the 90s, basically.
Ooh, that's an interesting question. Is that true?
And then his son, who's, I mean, very young, but damn good. Like, it's going to be the Grizzlies' best player if he's not already.
I don't
I,
think that.
Luke was, like on a team devoid of talent and couldn't start. So,
He's a good backup.
I mean,
Solid
Bill
backup.
Walton's taller, but Scottie Pippen
I,
can guard anybody.
I think okay. I think we should go with the Pippins. I think Bill Walton is one of the great big man defenders when he's healthy, and also one of the great big man playmakers when he's healthy.
Hmm.
I think Bill Walton as a now I'm not saying like Luke Walton is making a lot of plays if he, gets in the ball, but I think like Bill Walton as a distributor, as a defender is like kind of underrated, partially because he got hurt, right?
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I think I agree that like Scottie Pippen can guard anybody. Scottie Pippen can do like that's he is the greatest glue man in the history of the game because he can do literally anything you want him to do at
Yeah.
a very high level, and also until later in his career like had no ego, right? Like that's like there's plenty of guys who can do a lot of the stuff that Scottie Pippen could do, but they did not have the mentality to play alongside Michael
Yeah.
Jordan and make it work. So now he's playing with his kid. Come on. Come on. Easy. Easy work. As much as I love Bill Walton.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're going to finish out this side and then we'll get to the final four and get out of here. So we have the Horfords versus the Hardaways. That's a tough matchup for the Hardaways because, like, Al Horford has 8 inches on Tim Hardaway.
Yeah,
But I don't know. I just think like Tito was not very good.
right. I
He's
don't think they're
seven.
going to make it far, but I do think they win this one.
Yeah, I mean Tito's 7-1. That's a big plus in his book, but he just didn't really have. I feel like he didn't really have the mentality for it, and that's kind of what hurt him. Because like I said, like
Mm,
he was obviously a massive prospect back in. I want to say he was like 81, maybe somewhere in the early 80s, uh, maybe mid 80s. I don't know. But yeah, I think it's got to be the Hardaways. I mean, just because Tim Hardaway Jr. is like an actual player.
yeah, okay. Yeah, that's fair.
Oh, you were gonna say Hardaway or Horford's
Horford, yeah.
just because of
Al
the
Horford,
size?
I just think Al Horford's so underrated. I'm like, how are they guarding him? But you're right.
I
Like
mean,
the quality of player, like whatever what that stat is, above replacement player,
oh Vorp,
Hardaway Jr.'s is so much higher than
yeah,
this person I've never heard of before.
rude. Okay, so the Hardaways are moving on. Now we have the Jameses versus the Sabonises, which is what a
Yeah,
matchup, a
I know.
dynamite matchup.
Yeah. I like I'm tempted to make the same argument that LeBron could cook, but I don't think so.
LeBron could cook in this matchup, but also like younger Sabonis could probably stick with him to some degree. Like he's not just going to blow by everybody. Like your Kobe argument that he would just blow by the Bulls.
Yeah.
That's not happening here.
I mean,
And
LeBron's
then
cooking baby Sabonis, but the problem is you've got big boy waiting on you,
yeah,
and he's gonna like break your leg probably.
yes, yeah, that's what I was going to
And
say. I think like LeBron might come out of this matchup dead.
they're scoring every time, the Sabonises.
Yes, yeah, they're going to destroy Bronny. Just
Yeah.
absolutely murder him.
It's like a keep away thing.
Yeah. And then they'll tire LeBron out so much from trying to play defense that what's he? I just think I just think Bronny is not good enough
Yeah.
to make it close. Not maybe not close, but make it a
Not good
win.
enough yet.
Yeah, he's still got time. Okay, now we have a very interesting matchup. Kind of the same thing, but I think I might go the other way because we have the Currys versus the Ewings. Two shorties
Interesting.
versus two talls. But
Yeah.
in this case, Patrick Ewing is so bad.
So bad.
I think the Currys are just going to run all over them.
I do. I think it's compelling. I mean, how is Patrick Ewing not gonna not score every single time?
I think that just like the Sabonises would tire LeBron out just passing back and forth over his head. I think what is he going to he's not going to chase Del Curry and Steph Curry around the court.
Yeah.
And if he does, he's going to be so tired. What is he going to I mean, yeah, sure, what are they going to do to guard him, but like they can just like get there and pester him enough. They don't have to block a shot. They're just like sticking their hand in there and like I mean, he can't dribble either, right?
Yeah.
Like that's another thing. Like who's dribbling on this team?
Yeah. If he's taking it out top every time, he's got to get it down there.
I mean, I don't know.
Um,
I think
yeah.
he has to do too much. That's the
It's
problem,
more
right?
fun to pick the Currys anyway. Let's pick the Currys.
Yeah. Okay.
I like it.
All right. So now this is a good matchup. The Shays versus the Pippins. A big height advantage for the Shays because I'm assuming we're putting Dolph and Scotty together. Now, obviously,
Yeah.
we have to do the whole. This is what makes all these matchups really actually impossible because we have to pretend like they're both have like top of the line training and everything like that they would have now, right? Like you can't be like,
Right.
oh, of course Scottie Pippen would destroy Dolph Shays because Dolph Shays. We have to some degree, you have to be like, okay, but let's pretend like Dolph Shays and Scottie Pippen both have access to like good training and
Yeah.
food, right? Like you can't
Yeah.
be like, oh, he was alive during World War II, so he didn't have good nutrition. Like that's not fair, right?
Right.
So we have to put a little bit of that aside, and then like, what is Scottie Pippen doing against 6'11" Danny Chase? Scottie Pippen Jr., excuse me.
Winning, I think. I would pick the Pippins.
Really?
Yeah.
Uh
I mean, well, the problem with, and I know I'm a old school hater, but like, if you put Scottie Pippen in the 1950s basketball scene,
yeah.
is he not the best player?
No,
You're right. You gotta,
1950s.
Okay. I understand the argument. He's 6'11".
I mean, I don't know.
I have a really tough time saying that, but
I think this is very close. I think like the argument that like Scottie Pippen was an athletic freak in the 90s, so he would, if you put him back in time, he would be so much better than everyone else. You can't, I mean, you can kind of say that's true, but it's
yeah.
not like there weren't 6'8" Scottie Pippens back in the 50s that were playing and they were not ripped to shreds and had incredible condition, right? Like there were guys like that
Yeah.
that were playing then and they weren't the same athlete that Scottie Pippen was just because, and I know like, I don't know. You can't be like, oh, well, if Dolph Schayes came forward, he would automatically be ripped and have great conditioning and eat well. Like you don't know that for sure either, right? So
Right.
you kind of have to go in the middle, I guess. And I
Danny
I,
Shays.
I do think like I think
He
Scottie
played
Pippen,
18 seasons.
yeah, they both played a long time. That's the other thing.
Let's give it to the Shays.
Okay, wow,
I do think that Scottie Pippen Jr. is going to be great, but the guy played almost 20 years. Come on.
yeah, but I do think like one thing I was gonna say before you said give it to the Shays is I think Scottie Pippen Senior is one of the all-time underrated players, despite being like widely seen as a top 35 guy all time.
Yeah.
Like it's not his fault he played with the greatest player to ever live.
That's what I was saying about Clay, and you said that he didn't dribble enough.
No, I'm just saying Scottie Pippen can do everything. Klay
Yeah.
Thompson cannot do everything.
Yeah.
There are levels to this. And Klay Thompson is not, I mean, maybe he's a top 100 player.
It'd be a good one-on-one.
Maybe. Is Klay Thompson a top 100 player of all time? I was reading
I'd have
someone's and
to,
they put Draymond in the top 100 and I wanted to shoot them.
yeah.
I shouldn't say that on a podcast.
I don't love it. We don't shoot people.
Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Sorry. I almost broke my
Hmm.
document here. Okay. All right. Let's finish this out. So we have the Hardaways versus the Saboni.
Okay.
What say you?
For the memes, I like the Saboni.
I think they're a dark horse to win this whole thing. They're so,
Yeah.
like if we're taking Arvidas at the peak of his powers when he's like 7'3", not fat, not his knees are not broken. He's like
Yeah.
one of the best. He's like basically Jokic but skinny.
Yeah. With his knee pads.
Yeah, I think he's like might win this. Okay, and then
Okay.
Curry's versus the Shays. Whew, that's a tough one
Yeah.
because we're not Patrick Ewing Jr. anymore, right? There's not just some scrub that you can run around.
I
We
think it's
got
the Shays.
two legit players. Okay,
Yeah.
so we got an
I hate
old
that,
school.
but
All right, let's go
we
ahead
got
and
to give some
decide.
love to the old. We skew new a lot, so we got to give some love to the old school.
Well, good news. All of our teams are well, not all. Klay Thompson's still playing. Our teams are mostly old though. I guess
Yeah.
that's with the bracket since we're doing fathers and sons, and the fathers by definition have to be old.
Right. Yeah.
Okay, so we have our final four: Klay Thompson, or not just Klay Thompson, excuse me, Michael Thompson, Klay Thompson versus Joe Bryant and Kobe Bryant, and then Arvidas and Domantas Sabonis versus Dolph and Danny Shays. So
Yeah.
let's start with the Thompsons versus the Bryants. So this is great because we have like kind of a like for like matchup, right? Joe and
Yep.
Michael both 6'10", both. I think Joe is a little older than Michael, but not like crazy older. Like they may have played against each other. I'm
Okay.
not positive on that. Kobe and Clay definitely played against each other
Yep.
and play the same position. Um, this is tough. I think Kobe is the best player in the matchup. I don't think
Yep.
that's crazy to say.
Agreed.
I think Clay is like, I don't know. Like if you put like a VORP rating, right? Like I think Kobe's like a 2x on him, maybe. Is 2x too high? 1.5x better? Is 2x too high? Is he two times the player Clay Thompson is?
Yeah. I don't know. Yes. No. Hard to tell.
I think okay, I guess let's talk about it this way. Both guys can defend very well. Both guys great defenders. Both guys can shoot.
Yep.
Kobe, when he wants to be, can be a playmaker.
Yeah. I think it's the Bryants probably.
Really? I was gonna go the other way just because I think
Oh,
Michael's
really?
so much better than Joe.
Yeah. I was actually looking them up as we were talking, just because I Joe is 6'10",
Yeah.
185. Michael is 6'10", 226.
Yeah.
I think you're right that he's the number one pick,
Yeah.
two-time champ, never made All-Star or anything.
No, but he was good.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, let's do it.
Okay. Thompson's over the Bryants, and maybe a bit of an upset there. I think, like, again, like, there, maybe we're not factoring in enough how mad Kobe would be if we said this about him.
Although this time I don't know that there's anything you could do about it. Like Clay is such a sturdy defender and
Yeah.
like even defended Kobe at times.
Right. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we've seen him do it.
And then on the other side, we have another really good matchup because we have the Saboni versus the Shays. Okay.
It's time to get the shows out of here. I can't keep doing this. Too
I
old.
agree. I agree. Too old. Too old. Okay. So in our,
I don't have any reference for like how good they were or they might, someone that was alive back then might be like, you're crazy, but I've
yeah.
never seen either one of them play. I just we know what the Saboni are.
Yeah. Okay. So now we have the
The
Thompsons
winners of
versus,
this bracket, baby.
is that what you're going with over the Thompsons? Thompsons versus Saboni.
I mean, if you're gonna say that Michael gets like points for all of his achievements and his height, Sabonis is better and taller.
What? Wait, what? If he gets points for what?
Like we keep giving Michael points for like, oh well, he's the of the two guys, like he's the better second option.
Hmm.
Sabonis is like probably the best second option on this whole thing,
You
if he's
mean
even the second option.
which one? Wait, who's the second option
Ard
between the Saboni?
Ard Ardvitas.
You're calling Arvidas the second option?
If they were playing a 2-on-2 game, yes, DeMontis would take the ball out.
Okay,
Arvidas would
that's
be down
fair.
in the post.
I I think that's probably fair. I think like can you imagine like you basically have and I'm you basically have two Jokic's playing together, right?
What?
You have two big guys that can both shoot, they can both pass.
Yeah.
Neither of them plays very much defense.
Sabonis is such like the
I'm not
there are
saying that
some attributes, sure,
okay.
but it just threw me for a
Okay,
second. Like
I'm not trying to say that Domantas Sabonis is as good as Jokic. I would argue Arvydas Sabonis, when healthy, was as good as Jokic is now.
hey, I love that.
But what I am saying is you have two guys that play the same way as Sabonis, right? Like Shingo, he plays like Sabonis, even if he's not that level by far, but he
Yeah.
plays that way. He has
Yeah.
that type of game, right? And you have two guys. The level of big man passing on display, like having these two guys run the pick and roll is going to be wild.
Yeah. A lot of fun.
And what is Klay Thompson going to do? He's
Uh,
5 inches shorter.
that's crazy. I didn't think about that.
It's not like some of these other matchups, right? Where I'm like, is Patrick Ewing, can he dribble? Can Patrick Ewing dribble? I don't know. I don't think so. I know Sabonis can dribble.
Hmm.
I've seen it.
Yeah.
I'm just
Yeah.
kidding. Patrick Ewing can definitely dribble. Some people, some people listen to this podcast take everything I say literally, so they should calm themselves down.
I think it's a Saboni.
I agree. Thank
It's
God,
not. I don't think I would have thought that coming in, but I forgot how legit Arvidas was.
dude. I I know that like uh I tend to like people that other people don't like, just to be like contrarian or whatever people say I
Yeah.
am. But Arvydas Sabonis, one of my goats.
Yeah.
I
And
love
also
Arvydas Sabonis so much.
DeMontis, a little bit of a stat stuffer on a bad
Yeah, a
team
little bit. Yeah,
the last few years, but he's been on good teams before. Like
yeah. It's not his fault he had to play with De'Aaron Fox, who is one of the ultimate stat stuffers.
they're cursed. That the franchise is cursed. Like truly, it's scary.
Yeah. I mean, De'Aaron Fox is it's wild. The stats that guy puts up and how little they win. They won
Yeah.
anything. Because it's just like I think he's played in one playoff his entire career, his 9 years in the NBA, and he's averaging like I mean it's like 26 points or something.
Yeah.
It just never is any good. Now, I mean, now it's changed. He's joined a real franchise finally. Okay, so our winner is the Saboni. That's going to wrap us up here. Next week, we are going to decide the worst draft bust of the last 25 years. So I got to get to work on making that list. Is there anything? We're getting close-ish to the playoffs. We'll have to do a playoff preview at some point. Unfortunately, I've not really watched professional basketball the past week because I've been knee deep in college basketball and college wrestling. Shout out to Oklahoma State for finishing second.
Mm,
And last night, I after my wife went to sleep, I was watching the championship rounds. So the finals. I don't know if you don't know how wrestling works, but there's a team championship and individual championships. So
okay.
like Penn State had wrapped up the team championship before the finals round started,
Okay.
which is crazy. That's crazy. Like they hadn't even like there was there was still no one had won an individual championship, and Penn State had already won the championship, which is why a
Mm,
weird way to do stuff, but that's how they do it.
yeah.
Uh, and I was watching those games or those matches, and I almost passed out, like cheering, but trying to be like completely silent, so I didn't wake.
Oh.
So I'm
Oh
just like
boy.
screaming silently and like jumping around and flexing. Um,
Well, congrats.
and we won 3 of 4, so that's pretty good.
Nice.
But yeah, so that's what I've been doing. Have you want anything you need to talk about modern day basketball?
Kings are my pick to win it all.
Are they even in the playoff picture? Do they even have?
They're actually the first team that's statistically eliminated.
Well, they have DeMar DeRozan, right? So that makes sense.
And Zach Levine, your other
Oh
favorite.
God, jeez, Jesus Christ! How? Why would anyone in their right mind be like, "Hey, let's take the Bulls' two best players and put them on our team again"?
Hey, let's
That'll
go.
work. It
Yeah, that
didn't work
team.
here, so let's make it work somewhere else. Are
Yeah,
we?
that team that can't make the playoffs. Let's recreate them
I hate. God,
and pay a ton of money to do it.
gosh, I'm sure Zach Levine and DeMar DeRozan are fine human beings, but man, two guys I do not like at all as basketball players and would not wish on my enemies. No, that's not true. I would love for them to play with Draymond Green.
I don't know if this. I don't. I guess this would be a Ricky deep dive, but I don't think Zach Levine has ever won a playoff game
Is that true?
because I don't. I think he's been like one time and they got swept. And so my is he the best player to have not won a playoff game?
Ooh, ooh, that would be a fun series or a fun
Yeah,
video.
yeah. There you go. I'm giving you that one.
Zach
He may
Levine.
have won one. Sorry, but I'm pretty sure I saw the other day that he got swept once, and that's the only time he's been to the playoffs.
He made it to the playoffs once in 2022 with the Bulls.
Oh,
Played
okay.
in
I thought it was
four
the Wolves.
games.
So that's a sweep.
Played in 4 games,
Oh, sorry.
and they lost 1-4. So we'd have to see if he played in the win
Okay.
because they did win a game, but he only played in 4 of them. So he might have missed the last game that they lost. Zach Levine did play 43 minutes in a 114 to 110 win over the Bucks in the 2022 Eastern
Dang.
Conference first round.
Okay. So by technicality, he's not on the list, but
Yeah, that's great. That's great. All right, let us go ahead and get out of here. We will see you next time with our final bracket of 2026. Goodbye.
peace.